and I was working at a meatball shop. So I'd go on base and I'd deliver flyers on base to all the barracks, right? Anyway, one day, so you see that silver Mercedes sitting outside? So imagine that's a Honda, okay? And this Honda CRX pulls up to the building. I'm sitting outside on lunch break. This cat pulls up, and he has like 612s in the back of the CRX. And this thing is just dumping. So he played Baby Got Back. You guys are too young for that, but I'm sure you heard it, right? Anyway, so it's like boom, 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 boom. And then Baby Got Boom. And when he hit that bass, all the windows on the building were like, and I was like, oh my God. I went next door and I said, bro, please, this guy's name is, I'm from North Carolina, so this is real country. His name is Jimmy Jack. I was like, Jimmy Jack, please let me work here. You don't even have to pay me. I just want to work here. And then, what are you talking about, kid? You're 14. I don't care. I'll sweep the floors. I'll clean the bathrooms. I don't care what it is. I got to be in this industry because I just love this stuff. And he said, all right, come start tomorrow. So I quit the meatball shop, went right next door, and I was the official janitor of the building, right? So now the cool thing about it was I was very humble. I didn't ask for no money. I didn't care. I went in and I swept and I swept. Man, that floor was so clean. But then every once in a while, what's your name?
Clinton.
Clinton. He'd be like, Clinton, come here. Help me with this box. I want you to do this. Help me hold this thing. Help me do this. Man, so excited. So I started getting to do that. And then every day after school I was there. On the weekends I was there. And then all my friends, I was like, yo, what's your name?
I'm Bayless.
Bayless? All right, I'd be like, oh, Bayless, let me build your car for you. I'll do it for free. I don't care. I want to build something, you know? So anyway, I scrounged together 10 whole bucks from cutting grass. And I went and bought my first jigsaw. You know what a jigsaw is? Anybody know what a jigsaw is? It's like a handheld saw. Anyway, so I was pretty broke. You know, 10 bucks wasn't a lot. So I went to a pawn shop and I got this all metal jigsaw. It didn't even have a handle. So I have 4 buckets out to cut wood. I put the wood on it and I'd use a jigsaw. And while I'm cutting this jigsaw, it would shock me every time I use it because it was a piece of crap. So, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, geez. So I'd have to charge people extra money for silicone and stuff to do these boxes for these people, right? Anyway, so I was doing it for the next 2 years. I finally moved to Alaska when I was 16. And when I was in high school, I had one of the loudest audio systems in high school. So I started building systems for everybody at school. So one day, Clinton over here, Clinton, right. Anyway, he was like, yo, man, was it?
Oh, it's Clinton.
Clint?
Or you just say Clint.
Clint.
Or Clint.
Clint. I was going to say C. Yo, C. How about that?
C.
All right, C. That's your new name, C. You're confusing me, man. Anyway, so I was like, so C was like, yo, man, you build awesome systems, man. You're like the sound doctor. And I was like, wow, that's a cool name. So me and my buddy, we went and got hats made. I got a business license. So 16, I started my first company called the Sound Doctor. So I went to East High School, and I would just build like the loudest systems in school. So every day you come to my mama's house, and there'd be like 2 or 3 cars in the driveway, and I was just building systems all day with my janky jigsaw. But they were doing it. So when I was 18, I got hired at, you guys heard of Safe and Sound over here on Old Seward?
Yeah.
So big shop. So I started there. So the guy that worked there, I would go buy all my systems from him. So I had a lot of street pharmacist customers, if you know what I'm saying. And so they would give me a large lump of cash, and they say, hey, John, I want a system today. And I'm like, all right. So I go buy this gear from this cat. And then I was in my garage building systems, and I didn't understand any of the stuff, but I just had money, so it was cool. And every time I was done with the system, I would take it back to the guy at Safe and Sound. And then finally, when I was 18, he said, hey, you want a job? And I was like, heck yeah, I want a job. So he said, okay, we'll start you 2 days a week. So every Tuesday and Wednesday, I would literally, Sean, you got a toolbox for all your clippers and everything?
Not here.
All right, but you got one though?
Yes.
Okay, so every Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd be walking in with a big toolbox on my seat, and I was like, right, where you want me? And then Sean would be like, put you over there today. So that's where I worked 2 days a week. And then I was still building systems on the side, and I started working there. And anyway, I just loved it. I was in the baddest shop in the whole city, in the whole country in my head. Like, I felt like I was invincible, you know? But I was, again, the janitor. I was the official janitor again. But I felt like I was the baddest guy in the building. So that's one thing I want to say is you got to believe in yourself. You understand? You got to know that you're the best. Every day. You go to sleep, you're the best. You know, I have 3 daughters, and I told them ever since they're little, I said, you're a queen. You're a queen. You understand that? I said, you're on a pedestal. If a man doesn't worship you and cherish you, then he don't deserve you. If this guy carrying your books and he wants a kiss, and he don't get no kiss, and he gets mad, then he's not the right guy. You know? I said, you got to believe you're a queen, and you got to worship yourself and cherish yourself enough. And so in my head, I was like, I'm the baddest installer in the world. So when I was 16 and I was at East, I was bored in school because we all hate school. So you know what I would do? I'd practice my signature every day. That's my woman right here, Michelle. my queen right there. So she loves my signature, right? Because when I was 16, I would practice my signature every day, and people were like, "What are you doing?" I said, "One day I'll be signing big checks." And so I didn't know, and something Michelle taught me was manifestation. So I was at 16. I didn't realize I was manifesting that I was going to be making millions one day. You know, now that's crazy to think like that, because a lot of times money is such I hate money, but I love what money does for you. Does that make sense? So at 16, 17, I believed that I was going to be signing big checks. Okay, I had this shop vision in my head that if you guys ever come to the South Side and come to my store, I'd love to give you a tour. But when they built that shop for me, the landlord came over and he said, "Hey, here's a big piece of paper. Where do you want everything?" And I just drew the whole shop out in 10 minutes. And they said, "How'd you do that so fast?" I said, "This is a shop I wanted since I was 16. You know, and when they built that shop, I sat on this big old rock outside and watched them put every piece of metal up. You know, it was a humongous thing for me. And now I've been there, 20 years now. So anyway, back to like what I was saying with challenges, coming from overseas and doing all these things, dropping out of high school. Mom got hooked on crack at one time. It was pretty bad. We had to send her back to Thailand because it was really tough for the family. Adopted. Everybody got these challenges, right? Everybody got something. But we're all on the same playing field. So one of my favorite quotes that I feel like is, "The rules of the rich were made by the rich, but we can all play the game." Doesn't matter if you're old, young, black, white, Spanish, native, it doesn't matter. It's your own desire to want more. So I have this rule called the 90% rule, okay? So how many friends you got? You look like a popular guy. How many friends you got? Yes, you see. Yeah, see, how many friends you got?
It's hard to say.
Let's take a guess.
20 friends, maybe?
Okay, perfect. Well, let's just take 10. Think of 10 off the top of your head right now. Out of those 10 people that you have, how many of them own businesses? Zero. Okay, how about you? Cat, Van. How many friends you got?
Like
4. Okay, out of the 4, how many own businesses? None of them. Sir, how about you? 3. How many own businesses? Ma'am? Okay. Okay, so the 90% rule, and this is sad, and I don't want no one to get mad at me, but this is the reality. 90% of the earth is meant to be employees. Think about that. Do you hear me? 90% of the planet, 7 billion people are meant to be working for me. 10% of the people can be the boss. Now, why does it sounds bad, it sounds terrible, right? But it's a reality. You just said 20 friends, nobody owns a business. Jerry, how many friends you got? Jerry hangs in a different
Man, I got a couple hundred friends.
Okay.
But I probably got like 10 or 20 good business owner friends.
Okay, so even a smaller percentage. Again, what does it take? So for Jerry to not have a roof over his head, and then for me to grow up, broken my own way. Our roof actually fell down. We had a house over here off Turnagain, and it had a flat roof, and the whole roof flooded one summer, and I remember my mama's face when the whole entire ceiling fell. All the drywall fell like 3 a.m. And we already had those big 55-gallon drum garbage cans all over the house collecting the water anyway. But anyway, so we all have our own reasons to be hungry, So what I do is I teach people how to be entrepreneurial, okay? Small businesses run the community. Small businesses empower the community. We have more effect. All the government stuff doesn't matter to me. I don't care about Republican. I don't care about Democrat. When Trump's in office, I make money. When Obama was in office, I make money. It doesn't matter because that's how businesses are built correctly. You understand? So I have another rule. It's called, does anybody know what temperature water boils at? 212. My man, Sean got it. 212 degrees. Okay, Sean, you're Shark Cat, right? What's water at 211?
not boiling.
It's just hot water. It's just hot water. So a lot of problems with the people that we have, we get almost there. Okay? We get almost there. We're almost boiling. Right? But think about 1 degree difference in mindset is going to take us to 212. And then you're boiling water. And so ask yourself, on every time you set a goal for yourself or you set something for yourself, how often you're like, I'm good today. I don't feel like it. I'm not doing this. You know? That's the difference. That 1 degree is what's going to change your life. You know? And I don't care what it is. Okay? Something I struggle with. I want to be like super fit. Like I want to be an Instagram model. You know? I want a 6-pack. I want an 8-pack. But I got a keg. It don't work out for me, you know? You know why? Because I can't wake up in the morning. I don't want to go run. My girl, she loves to run. I'm not a runner. I like to walk. I walk to the restaurant, you know. But I don't want to do that. But so that's my failure. But in business, right? So like I was telling you guys, I have 3 daughters. So when I was 22, how old do you see?
I'm 19.
19. Okay, so my oldest daughter, I had her when I was your age. Okay, so do you have any kids?
No,
Okay, now how hard is it for you to take care of yourself right now?
not hard.
Not too hard? Okay, add a kid to the mix, and then you'll see how hard life can be. And then, you know, actually at 18, 19, I had 2 kids. So 2 daughters, right? And so you add that into the mix. 21, I had my 3rd kid, right? And then 22, I got my business. So think about boom, boom, boom. But what we also need in life is good mentors, okay? So mentors is something I really believe in, because if you hang out with me, see, I'll save you 10 years. Because you're gonna start seeing things. I'm gonna say, hey, let's cut this out. Let's do this. Let's change this. Let's move. We got to go do this, right? Because I already did it. I already failed at that. So when I was at that age, my mentor was Barnes and Nobles. So every Sunday I would take my kids up there, and my kids would go get their kid books, and I'd be in the business section reading a business book. You know, hey Vans, am I boring you? You sure? I just want to make sure I'm not boring you. Thought I had a good story. Anyway, so that was my mentor. You know, I had to read these books and learn how to create something. You know what I'm saying? So ideally, we need to continue our education. We need to work on these types of things and figure out how we can apply those in our life. So what I like to say, so see, again, I'll pick on you. What do you like to do? What's your favorite thing? Like, what do you put passion into?
Play guitar.
Hmm?
I play guitar.
Okay, so explain that to me. What does that mean?
So I taught myself how to play guitar. I play every now and then now.
Okay, so who's your favorite guitarist? Like they start playing and you're like, oh, that's my dude.
Something like that.
Hmm?
Prince or Eddie Van
Prince,
Halen.
amazing. Oh man, we all love Prince. I got to see Prince live in Vegas, 500 people, super small venue, amazing, right? Genius. So here's the thing about it, okay? The secret to business, the secret to wealth, the secret to life. Like Jerry, anybody follow Jerry on Facebook? Lexi, I know you follow Jerry on Facebook. My man doesn't do anything but think money, okay? He doesn't eat dinner, okay? He doesn't vacation. He doesn't celebrate his wife's birthday. He doesn't do Valentine's Day. It's money. Money, money, money. Sean, do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to the bathroom. This cat's like, yo, financial plus today, blah, blah, blah. You know? I studied this book on the bathroom. I'm like, wow, okay. So anyway, so my thing is that's passion, right? So the rule for money, the rule for life, the rule for this, and this is what I tell a lot of people, find what you love to do. Okay? You love guitars. Now, here's the catch. Become the best in the world at it. And then you make money. Okay? I love cars. Okay? I've been doing it since I was 14. All right? I became the best in the world. I've been in 50 magazines. My shop, we won Retailer of the Year 2 times for North America. There's only 3 shops that's ever done that. Okay? And that's Canada, Mexico, and United States. All right? Right now, my shop's up for 4 awards. One of the brands that I helped start is called CompuStar, the remote start company. I started back in 1999. We've been the #1 CompuStar retailer in the world since 2005. Okay? So at this point, I can say I'm one of the best in the world. You know, my store is world known. The way that's a proven thing is I flew down to Australia. I went to Tasmania, which is below Australia, and the next thing would be Antarctica. And we went to a shop to launch a company. And the guy was like, I went to shake his hand. He's like, oh, John, I know who you are. I follow you on Facebook. On the bottom of the planet. That's legit. I was like, all right, well, thank you. I feel cool. Let's go get some food. Anyway, I'm not bragging, but what it is I found what I love to do. I became the best in the world at it. The way that Jerry thinks about financing and money is the way I think about cars. To me, it's the most beautiful thing. I love the end result. So see, when you become a famous guitarist and you come back to Alaska, and I build a car for you, and you walk in and you see this thing, and it's the most beautiful thing that you saw in your head and is there, that's why I work so hard for you. Because I want to see that big old smile like, oh my God, that's it. Like Sean, when you do the perfect fade, what's the perfect fade that you can remember? Like we're like, God, I'm done, I'll quit. I'm closing up the shop, guys. You get one of those? Okay, you feel me though? Like you're done, and you're like, and then the guy gets the mirror and he's like, my girl's gonna love me tonight. Every time I get my haircut, the first person I think of is Michelle. I'm like, ooh, look at that line. Ooh, man, she don't even know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna date night and she don't even know yet. That's reality. Is that reality or not reality, Michelle? Yeah, that's it. That's all I think about. Ooh, I can't wait till Michelle sees these new shoes I got. I might get a compliment. But anyway, we gotta have fun, guys. And Jerry, I'm talking to you too. Gotta have fun, Jerry. I spend more money than I probably should. I love doing things. Last year, me and Michelle were blessed. We went to 10 countries last year. And I don't think we held back at all. We ate and drank and bought and did everything we wanted to do, and I didn't care. You know why? Because I built a business, that allows me to do that. I wasn't, huh? Were you not listening to anything I just said? This guy, man. Anyway, actually, I have a couple businesses. So, but we can expand on that later. Ideally, though, the foundational things I want you guys to understand. 212 degrees. Okay? Again, remember that. 212. 211, you're just hot water. You're not even boiling yet. You right? Does that make sense? How many times have you been 211? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Green dress. Yep, looking right at you. Many times, right? How many times? But we all look at life and we're kind of mad, right? How often do you look in the mirror and you're mad at the life that you have? Man, damn, man, I can't pay this bill. Man, I'm mad. This guy has a nice car. Actually, Sean helped me out. Remember a couple weeks ago when I brought that young gentleman in here? I was downtown. Okay, this is really cool. I was downtown and I was helping another friend. My friend owns a business downtown, and I've been kind of mentoring her for a while, and her business is really struggling. And anyway, I go in and her computer that she has, this thing must be like 12 years old. I mean, it can't even open up a window. It's so bad. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go buy you a computer. So I went down to Best Buy and I picked up a computer, and I was coming down there to help her with this computer. And as I'm basically pulling this computer out of my car, I'm walking up and this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey man, the same thing downtown. Hey man, can I get your help? I need some money. I need to get a bus ride and I'm trying to get over to Spenard. And I was like, ugh. And honestly, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I only had like hundreds on me, so I don't want to give him a $100 bill, So I was like, all right, I tell you what, let me go on my friend's spot, and then I'm gonna get some change, and then let me see what I can do. Anyway, go in there, set up the computer, do the thing. The guy's just waiting on the corner. I walk outside, and I was like, you know what? I'm hungry, and my favorite restaurant's on Spenard. I said, well, I'll just give you a ride. Okay, so we just jump in the car, and we're in my car. It's an unbelievable sunny day. I got the top down. We got the music playing. This guy just got out of jail. He's sitting in jail for a year. Okay, so this is his day. He gets to hang out with me in my Benz, music playing, 75 degrees. And I was like, you know what? You hungry? Let's go get some food. I need someone to sit with. So I take him to my favorite restaurant. We go to Mama O's, and this guy orders halibut and crab cakes. And I'm like, man, whatever you want. I don't care. Today's your lucky day. I don't care. Order everything. So we get this big old lunch. This dude's like crying because his stomach hurts so bad from eating so much. And then I'm looking at the cat, and his wig is just all messed up. And then so I was like, I hit up Sean. I say, Sean, I got this dude. I'm trying to help him out. Can you get him in? And he squeezed him in, and I brought him over here, and they lined him up and made him fresh, man. This guy was.
He didn't even say that. He said, it's one of my buddies.
Yeah, that's my buddy.
He said, it sounded like one of his friends. That's what
I was like, yeah, my buddy needs a haircut. Look, can we get him in? And then he got him in. This cat looked fresh, man. He looked super good. He's smiling the whole time. He comes out and he's like, life is crazy. And I said, dude, today was the day I was meant to meet you today. I'm not here to do anything for you. I'm just showing you that this is the other side. Okay? So that guy was smiling, everything was great, made me feel great. I was trying to help one person, ended up helping two. But what I want to get to, and I'll kind of finish up with this, is that every single one of us has this fork. We have a fork in the road that we come to. And then this is the decision that can change your life. So when I was 24 at my job, and my mentor, I was young at the time. I was one of the baddest, most highly trained technicians in the States. I was, if you can imagine, kind of cocky and arrogant, if you can imagine that, right? So I was pretty hard to work with. And the next day I came into work, and the boss pulled me aside and handed me a letter, and he was firing me. Okay, he wrote me a letter, and it said, you're too hard to work with, you're too difficult, you're untrainable, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this, so we're going to let you go. So right there, that was my fork in the road. So what could I have done? I could have been like, you know what? I don't need this job. I can get a job anywhere. Forget you. But I felt like, man, I'm supposed to be here. So I was like, you know what? I humbled myself. And I said, boss, look, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know I can be trainable. Teach me to be the employee you need me to be. Teach me. So right there, I was humble. I put my pride aside. I was trainable, right? And then he's like, all right, I'll give you one more chance. And I shut up, and I put my head down, and I became the guy he hired. And now I own the place. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that's always going to happen, but what I'm saying is that how many times have you got yourself in a situation and that, do you remember the fork? Do you remember that fork? Mm-hmm. Lexi, do you remember the fork? Or are you perfect all the time? You're not listening? She's not listening, Jerry. Anyway, so remember the fork, okay? And just think about this for 1 second before you get rash, before you get mad. Just like, okay, what's going to happen to this effect? Okay, so 2008, I became a partner. That's when I made my first $1 million. And then 2011, I bought the company out. So I want to finish up with this. I, at a very young age, was very goal setting. Okay, so how old are you?
19.
19. How about you? 19. How about you? 18. 19. Never nice to ask a lady. I apologize. How about you?
67.
67. 71. Huh? 15? At least at 50. I was like, come on, bro. What do you do about the gray hair, man? Ms. V, how are you? Nah, I'm not going to ask. Okay. All right. So, Sean, how about you, Sean? You get in this too.
I'm 35.
30, perfect age. Okay, great. Jerry, you're a young cat. What are you now?
27?
27.
27, yeah.
All right, Lexi, how old are you? Are you paying attention? All right, Lexi's paying attention now. 25. Okay, here's what I want everybody to do. This is, I promise you what I did for myself, is when I was 22, I said by this time I got to get to this point at 25. All right, and then by 30, I'll give you my 30-year-old goal was kind of materialistic. At 30 years old, I wanted to make $100,000 a year, and I wanted to drive a Range Rover. Okay, so I busted my butt and I did it, and I made $100,000 a year. And on my 30th birthday, my Range Rover got delivered from Chicago. Okay, and it was the dumbest time to buy it because gas was like $6 a gallon, and that thing is so stupid. So, anyway, but my goal for 35 was I wanted to buy my partner out, and I wanted to win Retailer of the Year. Okay, this is a huge thing for me in my industry because where are we at, guys? Anchorage, Alaska, 300,000 people. Okay, 700,000 for the whole state. Rhode Island, the small state, has more people than we do for the whole state. You can fit 2.5 Texas inside of Alaska. Okay, so I wanted to win Retailer of the Year. So my shop, my team, we put Anchorage, Alaska on the map. This in my industry, which is a big industry, multi-billion-dollar industry, people think of Anchorage, Alaska, and they think Perfectionist Auto Sound because of the way we carry ourselves. Okay. So my goal for 35, I want to buy the company out, and I want to win Retailer of the Year. And 3 weeks before my 35th birthday, I won Retailer of the Year, and I bought my partner out in 30 minutes, right? And then 2008 is when we made our first $1 million. When we did our first $1 million, we did 1.2 million that first year, and I've never not done that. So since I've had my shop, we've probably done about 40 million in business. Now think about that, $40 million in revenue in a city of 300,000 people. What does that tell you? That is a business owner. What does that tell you?
It's a world-class business.
World class. I'm globally known. I have 3 companies. You know, my other company that we have 400 retailers in 8 countries. Can you imagine having 400 barbershops in 8 countries? Okay, Sean, what's your biggest weakness in business in this place? I can see it right now. I want you to tell me.
Keeping the team together, keeping everybody's eyes.
That's one challenge. That's not the big challenge, though.
The biggest challenge?
Yeah, who's the best barber in here? I'm going to see some arrogance. This is the best barber?
Kevin first.
Okay, so ultimately, how many chairs do we got?
We got 8.
8 chairs. Okay, so how many heads can we cut a day? Max.
I like 60.
60 heads. Okay, so that right there tells you his cap of business. No matter what he does, and how often do we have 60 heads in here a day? Not every day, right? So we realize what our cap is. So first rule of business, you want to make more money? What do we have to do? We have to serve more people. Only way you can make more money is we need more chairs or we need more heads. That's it. And barbers are a factor, and you can get a great team, but I feel like whoever, let's say this cat's the best barber. What's your name, boss?
Kevin.
All right, so let's say he's the baddest barber in here, right? How many heads can he cut? And we know we can, we might be able to push him for one more. But if he had an extra chair, and you see what I'm saying? That's how we can do that. So I never made my first $1 million until I got the new building so I could fit more cars in so I could do more business. So who's the best at serving more people? Their sign says it right on the sign, billion served daily.
On McDonald's.
McDonald's, right? So McDonald's, their sign says billion served daily, okay? So that means if they sell one thing for $1 a day, they're making billion a day. Okay, you know what my daddy taught me? My dad taught me, what's a billion? Lauren, what's a billion? You know what a billion is? $1,000 million. You got $1,000 on you? No. Imagine having $1,000 million on you. Whole nother level, right? So what I like to do when I think about it is we have to, as business owners, okay, so what's a great idea you can have? Something consumable. Okay, haircuts are great. They're consumable. But the downfall is the labor. You're the doctor. Okay, so something to think about in business is, I want you guys to think if you can create a business, we need something consumable, and we want to own the hospital. If you have to touch it, then you're an employee. You understand? You just own your job. So, like the guitarist, where's C at? Oh, he's down there getting pretty. Getting ready for his concert. So, how did Prince make so much money? He served a lot of people. Concerts, records, syndication, serving more people. The rules of the rich are made by the rich, but all of us can play it. Does that make sense? So, if you're doing, any type of business like that, the idea is, I want you to think about what can you create that you love to do, but how can we replicate it for lots of people? If we can figure that out, then you can start getting there. Does that make sense? Anybody got questions on that? No? Okay. So, anyway, I know I got a lot of stuff from all over the place, but I love business. Business is my passion. So anyway, I would just like to say, back to the goal setting, and this is where I'll kind of close it up. At your age you're at, 19, 18, 15, 17s and stuff, I want you to pick a 2-year goal. I want you to pick a 5-year goal. I don't care if you're 71. So let's shoot for 75. Okay? Let's shoot for, what'd you say, 67? 67. Let's shoot for 70. We need to shoot for this goal, and I want you to write these goals down. A realistic, kind of crazy goal, write it down, put it in your wallet. And every time you start slipping, every time you're 211, you pull that thing out and you're like, come on, I got to remember this. Let's go. Because you know what it is? Like right now. So how old are you again? I'm sorry. 68. Well, right now you're the youngest you'll ever be. Guess what? It just passed. Now you're the youngest you'll ever be. It just passed. It's ticking. You know, that's the only thing we can't buy is time. You understand? That's why goal setting is awesome, because if you have a goal set and now you have a North Star. Okay, so have you ever been to Italy before? Okay, Michelle, how beautiful is Italy? How beautiful is the sunset on the Amalfi Coast? Unbelievable. Okay, I want you to, if that's what you want, to experience that. So let's say by this day, I'm going to be there. And now that's our North Star. And now we got to figure out how are we going to get there? What do I have to create? What do I have to do to get to that level? That's the idea. And that's life. You know what I'm saying? So my shop right now, we're up for 4 awards at our big industry convention next month. So my short-term goal is I need to drop 10 pounds so I can look good in my new suit. So I'm already thinking I'm going to walk on stage. You know, so I'm already in my head manifesting. I got to look good for the stage when I walk up. So that's the idea of it, though. It's this North Star that we're giving ourselves. It's not like the secret and like this mind thing. If you will it, it will happen. Sean, do hairs get cut if you will it? No. You ain't gonna look at the clippers and be like, cut. No, you got to pick them things up. You got to put the work in. There ain't no get rich quick scheme. There ain't no, you ain't gonna go win the lottery. What's the odds of winning $300 million? It ain't gonna happen. So we got to put the work in. It's work. Okay. Why do I make money? Because I work harder than anybody. I work all day. I work all night. That's what I do. There's nobody else that in my head is better than me. I know my company from the ground up. I'm the janitor to the most highest end fabricator to the best salesman in the company. So, do you own a business? Anybody here own a business besides Sean and Jerry? No. So, what I want for you guys, I want you to see this other side that we all can do this. It's very simple. Find what you love to do, become the best in the world at it, and then you make money. If you can do that, and money is what? My money to your money is a different idea of comfort. Right? What's the definition of rich? Jerry, you know the definition of rich? Let's see how good Jerry is.
The definition of rich?
The definition of rich, in layman's terms.
It depends on what your rich is.
No, don't answer a question with a question. What's the definition of rich? That's a good question, though, but what's the definition of rich?
I would say rich is an abundance of income.
Okay. Who has children in here? Children. Which children ever got an allowance? Allowance? Anybody? No? Okay. If your children get an allowance, they're richer than you. Rich is more income than expenses. That's it. That's all it is, if you think about it. So if you're working and you give your kid $20 a week, they have no debt. So they're richer than you are because you got debt. Right? Make sense? So your idea of money is different than my idea of money. You know, if I pulled out $100,000 right now, you guys are like, oh my God, that's some money. But maybe that's not a lot of money to me. I don't know. You know, to someone like Jerry probably don't get excited unless he sees $1 million, right? You get excited for $1 million?
I get excited for $1 million.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway, guys, so bottom line, find what you love to do, become the best in the world at it, then we make money. Okay? Passion. 212 degrees. That's boiling. Don't be 211. Everybody's 211. Obviously, 95% of this room, we're 211. We got to kick it up. Be the best version of yourself. When I was 16 years old, I was signing my signature because I knew I was going to be signing big checks. Remember that story? It's crazy. Now, I want to finish up, and Jerry asked me to bring my car out here. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's the silver Mercedes out here. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to tell you a cool story about this, and this is the only reason I brought it. I really didn't want to bring it last night because I didn't want to look arrogant. I didn't want to look like, oh, I'm just money, blah, 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 right? So here's the cool thing about this car. Okay, so this car, basically so we started this company back in 1999. It's called CompuStar. Anybody heard of CompuStar? It's a remote start company. I mean, your friends probably got it. You heard it beeping in the restaurant. The beep, 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 the car's running. We were the first company in the world to create that. We invented that back in 1998. I came on the company in 1999. I was the third guy hired. And we were, how big is this place?
1,100.
Okay, so Sean was 100 foot bigger than the CompuStar I started at. We were 1,000 feet. We were renting a place in a Korean church over on Diamond. So, because the boss is Korean. So we were renting this spot. And so it was the boss. So let's say Sean was in his office. Then we had the general manager. We had a sales guy. And then I was the head tech. Okay? So it was just us four guys. All right? And then let's say like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it would be like, Sean would be like, time to go to the packing room. We'd go pack up 10 remote starts. Okay? We'd pack them in a case. And we would ship it out. And we would go celebrate and have dinner. Like, oh my God, we're going to be a big company. We sold 10 remote starts today. You know, it was huge. Right? Now, not to be crazy, but now we do $1 million a day with our company. $1 million every single day with our company. We're based out of Seattle. We just expanded the company. We're at 80,000 square foot for our warehouse and offices now. Okay? And so we're pretty much one of the biggest remote start security companies in the world. Okay? So, the reason I tell you this is back in that time, the boss was driving this old Toyota Camry, okay? Kind of a junky car. It was all rusted and stuff. Okay, so anyway, he was driving a junky car. We had just broke our first $1 million in 2003. And so I was telling the boss, I didn't understand money, but I was like, yo, boss, you got to buy a new car. This thing's a piece of junk. You're looking stupid. You got this rusty car. And he would argue with me, I don't need this car. It's stupid, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, after a couple months, I convinced him. I said, you got to buy a new car. So he said, okay, I'll buy a new car. How much are you going to spend? He said, I'll spend $100,000. All right, cool. So this car just came out. This was the baddest thing on the road at the time. That car is $120,000. And he bought this car, and this thing looked like a spaceship when he bought this thing, okay? And I remember he brought it to the store. We're all like, oh my God, all hard work. Wow, boss, you got you're like the Jetsons. I mean, this thing was crazy, right? Anyway, so the company kept getting bigger. We moved the company to Seattle. And then the car left. I never saw it again. Blah, blah, blah. So fast forward a good 5, 6 years. Jason hits me up. That's my boss. Jason hits me up and he says, hey, the company did pretty good this year. It's time for a new car. I said, well, how'd we do? He said, we did $30 million this year. All right. Well, how much are you going to spend? He said, I'll spend $250 this time. All right. Awesome. So we started looking at cars. We're looking at Ferrari. We're looking at Bentley. We're looking at Aston Martin, all these things. So we find this beautiful Bentley down in Georgia. Ship it up. It's a Bentley Continental Super Sport. It's $195,000, gunmetal, beautiful, unbelievable car. He just bought his new house, $3 million house. I mean, this guy makes stupid money. And had the house, the car, and him in front of it. So I was like, wow, man, he looked like Korean James Bond. That looked like so amazing. I was so proud.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was so proud of the guy. I was like, wow, you're my hero, man. I want to be like you when I grow up. So anyway, I said, hey, what's up with the Benz? Let me get the Benz. Let's keep it in the family. What's up? And then he's like, all right, let me drive this Bentley for a week and see if I like it. I don't know if I like it yet. All right, whatever. So a couple weeks later, I get an email, and he says, hey, I'm getting a Mercedes ready for Alaska. I said, oh, okay, what's going on? So I'm getting all the services done. I said, well, cool, man, what's up? And I was like, well, how much do you need? I got to go to the bank, and let me see if I can get a loan for this car, right? The next email, he said free. So he gave me the car.
Wow.
That's why I brought the car. Okay? So now, I can't lie and say I'm not a dumb kid. So the first thing I did is order rims, order lowering kit. So I was like, I'm hooking this thing up. I got a free car. Rims is cheap. So, but anyway, that's why. So every summer I bring this out, and people are like, "Yo, let me buy this car. Let me get this car." But I can never sell it because my mentor gave me this car, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, obviously my jaw hit the ground, my heart stopped, and he was like, I wish I could do more for you, because when we were building this company. How many people been on Diamond? Everybody been on Diamond, of course? Mm-hmm. Okay, imagine, I want you to think about a blizzard, 2 o'clock in the morning, crazy snow, no snow plow trucks, and my dumb butt walking down the street testing range on a remote. Because Jason would call me and be like, John, we got to meet up at the shop. We got to test this new remote, and there's no traffic. So he's sitting in a nice warm car with the walkie-talkie, and I'm walking down the street for a mile down the street to test range, so you guys get good range on your remote starts. Okay, that's how long I've been with this company now. So, anyway, that right there is the epitome to me of hard work. I had a great mentor. I got to get this car. He taught me how to run my company and how I own this company. We've done millions of dollars. I've had tons of employees. I've done a lot of different things with my life. I have a global company. I have, we do manufacturing, we do distribution, and we do retail. So we kind of touch every avenue of business you can touch on, right? But it just grew from what? The Sound Doctor when I was 16. Some kids saying, man, you build awesome systems. You're like the Sound Doctor. So now we built it from that. I stuck with what I loved, and I just kept working on it. So how many times you meet people that are jumping jobs? Or, yo, man, I got the new Get Rich thing, man. You got to try it. You want to sign up? You want to sign up? You want to sell insurance? You know what I'm saying? You get these things, and I got a lot of friends like it. They're like, John, man, it must be nice. And I was like, no, I've been doing the same thing for 28 years. Any book that you read, the guy that wrote it has been doing it for 20 years. There's no get rich rich quick thing, you know what I'm saying? So, Sean, how long have you been cutting hair?
15 years.
15 years. How good are you? You see what I'm saying? Now, if some cat came in and he's like, yo, I just got out of barber school. I'm going to outdo you. What you going to do? All right. That's cute. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. That's how I feel about it, right? You do what you love to do, become the best in the world, and then that's how you do it. Now, one last thing I want to talk about is, we got to get back and working. We got to work with the right people. We got to do the right thing. So as employees, as an employer, what I want for you guys to do, a lot of guys, when I was young in school, I don't know if they teach you guys this. Y'all still in school? Everybody still in school? You in school? You're in school? Okay, you in school? How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
19.
19, okay.
I just graduated.
So when you were where'd you graduate from?
East High.
East High. Hey, Thunderbird, me too. All right. So I only went there for a year, though. I didn't graduate there. Anyway, I moved to Vegas. But when you were in East, did you go there the whole time?
Yes.
Okay. Did anybody teach you, and anybody jump in if you want, how to do a resume properly?
Oh.
Now, I'm not saying I want you to get all fancy and all this stuff, but you know what I hate? Okay, I've had my company for a long time, and I've had probably over 100 employees, and I have people walk in, and here's what they do. They hand me the cheapest, so imagine this page right here, the thinnest, cheapest paper with the most generic font, and what's your name? Cam? And this says Cam, like in the worst font, and I'm supposed to remember Cam. So, life's about first impression. Okay, do you agree? Okay, you guys holding hands, y'all lovey-dovey and stuff, right? How'd y'all meet? Don't be shy. You holding his hand. Come on, man, speak up. Represent. I would brag about my girl. You better brag about yours.
We were.
Okay, first thing, look me in the face when you're talking to me.
Yeah.
That's what men do. We look at each other in the face. You're killing me, man. You're losing romantic points so bad. I could tell you me and Michelle's story, like, off the back of my hand. Like, no problem.
Yeah, we were living together in a dorm.
Wait, okay, I'm about to say, you're living together, you didn't even meet each other yet. Like, you're roommates now. Don't break this rule, and you broke it. Anyway, okay, I'm just giving a hard time. You can smile, bro. It's a joke. Okay, relax. Anyway, he's still not smiling.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
So, I never asked a guy like you that's probably rich. What's the best?
What's rich though?
Rich just mean that you're wealthy.
No, wealthy and rich are two different things.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, what bank do you use?
Well, a smart guy uses I mean, this is something for Jerry, but I probably have about 5 banks that I use, but they're all depending on different situations. You know?
Alright, so for this, if you were this age,
Mhm.
what bank would you use?
Well, I think that there's again, what are we trying to create? What's the goal? What's the idea? If we don't, and now here's the thing too, and I want you to let's cancel goals. What I learned is we got to think of outcomes. What's the outcome? What are you trying to do? You're 19, right? Okay,
I'm 20
so
years old now. I'm going to turn 20 next month.
okay, 20 years old. What is the outcome? What are you trying to achieve? How are you making money now? How are we investing money? How do we replicate our money?
Well, I have a savings account at Wells Fargo.
Which is the worst place to have money.
Yeah, about the
Not the bank or Wells Fargo, but a bank in general, because a bank doesn't give you any money on your savings.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to find places to put our money that's going to grow our money and give us some return on our money.
So do you have any suggestions?
Oh, I mean, I could talk about it. Jerry, that's literally Jerry's specialty. Yeah, that's Jerry's business. I'm giving my money to Jerry. That's how that's working out. Me and Jerry makes a Facebook post. I was like, that's a great idea. Hey, Jerry, you want some more money? I mean, honestly, I gave Jerry like 5 G's the other day. To, he's like, oh, somebody bought some bouillon. And I was like, well, I need some bouillon. I have to stop doing the soup now. Anyway, the idea of it is there's so many things to do. But first thing, we have to create something that's going to create money for us. Okay, remember, we need to own the hospital. Don't be the doctor. Okay, so there's this beautiful thing. It's called the cash flow quadrant. If you can imagine, there's a whiteboard here. E, S, B, and I. Okay, E, employee. S, self-employed. B, business owner. I, investor. Okay, everybody got that? E, S, B, I. 90% of the earth is where? On this side. Okay, employee, self-employed. Okay, if you're self-employed, like a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, all these things, that don't make you a business owner. That means you're the doctor. If you quit working on teeth, you don't get paid unless you have more doctors in there. Do we agree? If you're the lawyer and you stop practicing law and you don't have more lawyers in there, then you don't make no money. We need to own the hospital. So my business, I have a bunch of doctors that work for me. That's how we can travel. That's how we can do things, because my hospital's always working. That makes sense? So who knows what Warren Buffett is? Warren Buffett, like 3rd richest guy on the planet for like ever. So he said, if you can't create something that you make money while you're sleeping, then you'll never ever be rich. So think about that. How many people make money when they sleep?
0.
Jerry, you make money when you sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
What?
Yeah. I mean, if you can't make money while you're sleeping, then you're not a business owner. That's the goal. That's the outcome. Oh, what you got? Oh, there we go, right there. Is that the cash flow quadrant?
Yeah.
There you go. So ESBI, that's a really great thing right there. So, I used to recommend Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, until I found out some backstory about him. But the idea of it is really good. Yeah, the idea of it's really good. So the idea of it is, and this relates to me a lot, is my rich dad was my mentor, Jason, who owned CompuStar. And my poor dad was my dad, who was a military guy his whole life, and was like, John, get a good job, you'll get retirement, and you'll be fine. And guess what? My dad turned 71, and he's still living off his retirement. He makes $2,500 a month. And he's cool, he's happy. He don't do much. He just kind of chills. Me and Michelle always like, Dad, get out of the house. Go do something. You got money. You got like an 895 credit score. Like, go get a credit card. He's like, no, I'm on a fixed income. I don't want a fixed income. I want a ridiculous income, So, anyway, ideally, when we look at these type of things, we have to decide, how are we going to push past these limits that we have? How do we do these type of things? We got to find a passion in them. And I'm not saying it's like, I don't want you to open up this barbershop unless you have passion. Sean, did you have passion when you opened the place? Mm-hmm. All right, so this guy is textbook of what I'm talking about. Right? How long have you been in business now?
10 years, almost.
10 years. How proud are you to walk in and be like, man, 10 years I had this spot. I've been pulling into my parking lot for 20 years. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. So, anyway, as employees, back to what I was saying. Who got a business card? Business card? Jerry, you got a business card?
Digital.
Rookie. You got a business card? All right, let me get your business card. You're going to like this. Oh, that's your business card? Oh, okay, that's unique. Okay, so That's our business card here. Now, realistically, if I hand you this, who's going to keep this in their pocket? Huh? Pardon me? Okay, let me have the other. Let me have what you hand me. Like me in the elevator. Sure, no worries. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Anybody ever heard of the elevator speech? Everybody heard that? Sean, you heard of the elevator speech? Okay, elevator speech. Me and you, we're in the sixth floor. We're in the elevator. We're going down. I'm a potential client. You got till we hit the ground floor to tell me everything about you. Okay? How are you gonna do it? How often have you practiced that? My man right here. What's your name? Cam again. You look like a cool cat. What's your elevator speech? Tell me, Cam. You all black and white, head to toe. Got the fresh pods. You got everything. What do you do?
Me, I know how to weld. I play football and basketball. And I'm trying to walk on with college.
Okay, so we got 3 things going on there. Okay, so, but now what we need to work on is, okay, A, are we trying to get into college or are we trying to weld?
I'm trying to weld.
Okay, so then let's talk about that. I don't care about football and stuff because what's it got to do? We're not playing football at work. All right. Okay, so let me give you my business card. Actually, hold on. So here's my business card. So
That's awesome.
So that's a metal business card. Actually, I got
A metal business card. Which is, whoa, this is lit. I have never seen anything like this before.
That's what I like to hear. That's the point. Right?
I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah, that's the point. I give you one. So, take it out the wrapper. I want you to feel that. Feel that sexiness. Huh?
It's a good logo. I like this.
Oh, sorry. So feel that. Pull that out. Okay. So, if I need this mic anymore, I don't need a mic anymore, right? So the point of that was, I was going to so many conventions and so many things. Okay, who's been to conventions? Anybody been to conventions? Okay. How many business cards you get at the end of the day?
All of them.
Oh, 1,000.
Lauren, how are you going to remember me? Man, this guy, he was sharp, but dang, what's his name? Look at that, I love it. Drop it. Okay. No offense. How are you going to remember that? You hear that? Love that sound. You hear that, though? So what I do when I hand people my card, that's my first impression. I want you to remember me. You're going to remember me when you leave me. You can be like, I got so many people, Michelle, my witness. I got so many people to come up to me in conventions like, John, I still got your card in my wallet. How many conventions you been to and someone told you that? First impression. Think about, you see what I'm saying? You are your own brand. You understand? If you aren't selling yourself, how are you gonna sell me? I love to be sold. Man, if someone comes to me like, yo, check out my new mouse. Yo, this mouse is the craziest mouse, man. You can put it on your head and you can control stuff. Wow, this guy's really putting effort into it. I love that. Make me excited. If you like my man right here. Michelle, why you love me? So I put her on the spot. So like so here's what Michelle loves, right? This one thing Michelle loves. We go to people like, tell us your story. And Michelle's like, John, you tell it. You tell it so much better.
John's, he's a great talker.
I'm a storyteller,
Yes.
right? So, and she just sits there and she just smiles, you know, and she just in love. Because I'm like, oh my God, when she walked in my shop, I was like, oh, that's my shop girlfriend. Anyway, we got this crazy story. But you see what I'm saying, though? You got to sell yourself, and you got to believe in yourself, and you got to be your own brand. You got my card, you're never going to lose that card. And I tell people, if you don't like me, use this as an ice cream. Scrape the ice off your card. You'll still remember me, you know?
What's this made out of?
It's made of aluminum.
Oh,
Aluminium, if you're from, overseas.
nice.
Anyway, the idea of this, so those cards are about $5 a card. Okay? Not many people can spend $5 on a business card, okay? But I do it. And I tell any business owner, you're not allowed to do it until you do $1 million a year. So don't think about it unless you do $1 million a year, okay? Because it's a stupid expense. But to me, you know, and I used to hoard them. I used to like just keep them away. Oh, these are tight. One of these days I'll give them away to somebody. But I was like, no, that's stupid. I'm gonna start giving away to everybody. So I give them to everybody. So every time I go to shows, people are like, yo, let me get the new one. Yo, let me get the new card, you know? And every company I have has a metal business card. Because now that's my brand. Understand? I agree, right? Crazy.
You should do titanium.
That's not realistic. It's not realistic because it doesn't make a difference. You know, no one's asking what it is. So again, guys, you see, I want to embody my brand. Okay, you see my car is clean. I'm trying to be fresh. I get a fresh cut every week. You know, it's about the way you represent and carry yourself. If you're a business owner, Sean, are you allowed to have an off day? Nope. We're always on the clock. You know, if I go to the grocery store, my girl laughs at me all the time. I don't even own one pair of sweatpants. Okay, who owns sweatpants again? Everybody got sweatpants? I don't own one pair. Do I? I don't own one pair of sweatpants.
I don't either.
Yeah, well, when I grew up in the South, my dad's military, and he's like, don't you walk at the house like that, boy. You ain't making me look like that. I'm your dad now. So we had to be pressed. Everything's pressed, everything's sharp. That's what it is. Because you're always on the clock. You know, how many times we've been out somewhere at dinner, we've been out in movies or something. Yo, John, talking business. Give me a card. Better have a card on you. You know what I'm saying? Because that client could be the client. The client. You know? I mean, when me and Jerry met, I didn't know Jerry much, but one buddy introduced us. And how much business are we doing together now, Jerry?
We're doing a lot.
We're doing a lot of business now off of one connection, and he bought me lunch. So what does that finalize to? Okay, you think I'm a cool cat? Or do you think I'm like a nerd? What do you think? If you saw me, yeah, I'm talking to you. You look like a cool cat. Do we represent each other? Do you feel like I'm like a cool guy or not?
I mean, we probably went through different obstacles coming out.
You missed my story. You don't know my obstacles, man. So you're already judging me. That's not fair.
I'm gonna say you're cool. You look really fancy. I love the watch.
I love the watch too, man. I've been waiting up for 2 years. I've been waiting for this watch.
And you got 2 redheads in here. There's more redhead and 2
That's pretty rare in life.
better watch
to get
out.
2 redheads together. Anyway, my point is that, you know, we have to represent a certain type of thing, and we have to carry ourselves a certain type of way, and we need to be able to see each other, and we need to always represent that brand. You know, that's what I want everybody to do. So anyway, guys, I know I've been talking way longer than I should. I apologize. I got so much stuff. You know, 28 years of doing this. This is all I do. Ideally, I just want to finalize and just say, look, everybody got challenges. Okay, like I said, I was born overseas. I was born in Iran. Plane had an emergency landing. I went to Thailand. I got adopted. Luckily enough, I could have been a farmer in Thailand. My mom, her best friend, wanted to adopt me. In Thailand, when you're mixed, okay, so I'm Thai and Polynesian. When you're mixed, you're like very rare. Because in Thailand, if you can imagine, everybody looks the same. Okay, everybody's Asian, everybody looks the same, you know, everybody's Thai, of course. So when you're mixed, you can really stand out. So it's kind of like a really cool puppy, you know. So the girl's like, oh, I want to adopt your kid, you know, but I could be a farmer in Thailand in my village. Okay, I go back to Thailand every couple of years to see my family and stuff, but luckily I got to come to America. And, you know, I talked about all the challenges for that. So we all got different challenges. And again, what my rule was, is the rules of the rich are made by the rich, and we can all play the game. You just got to believe in yourself to play the game, you know? And because there's no limitation, you know? You can read the same book. We can go to Barnes & Noble, and I can show you every single book I read on business. You know, I can show you. I got, how many books do I got? My whole house. I got books everywhere.
Still buying them all the time.
Yeah, I read 4 books at a time, you know? Because I get bored, I jump different chapters, I'm moving around all the time, you know? So we can all play the same game. I don't care how old you are, I don't care how young you are, black, white, I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've seen every type of entrepreneur there is, and we can all do the same thing. But the foundation, look at my man Sean earlier. Look how intense he is on this page. That right there is what we want to be. That's passion. If you go on Jerry's Facebook, he loves this helping people fix people's money. You know? And that's what I love about him, you know? He's passionate about it. I know I can open up Facebook anytime and there's gonna be some money post that I need. You know? So you want to be that passionate person. Find what you love to do. Become the best in the world at it. There you go. John, we got John's card. No, you see what I'm saying? Find what you love to do, and then you make money. That's how it is. Become the best in the world at it, and you make money. John, who's the baddest barber on the planet? Like, if you could get your hair cut by somebody, who would it be? There you go. I love it. No, that's cool though, right? But you can't tell me, I bet you if we go through Sean's phone on Instagram, you ain't telling me you're not following at least 10 barbers.
Oh yeah, probably like hundreds.
Right, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same. You see what I'm saying? You find what that niche is. So your thing, what's that? This doTERRA. It's like makeup, yeah, essential oils and stuff. Okay, so that's a cool business, right? But essentially you're reselling, right? Yeah. So how can we flip that and make that just your brand?
I've been trying to do that recently with a lot of help from other people, and that
That's
really
what you-
helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. You know, you gotta, you know, when people buy a franchise, what are they buying? They're buying an easy system. Somebody already figured out the kinks for you and stuff, but then you have to give them something. You know. But why can't we take that same thing and then you put your own spin on it? You know. So think about it like this, guys. In this economy, in this world, and all this crazy stuff, you got a little shop over here on Diamond in a city of 300,000 people that's world known. You know, multiple awards, won every award in Alaska, and we've made millions of dollars in this one thing because why? I put passion in everything that I do, and you guys believe me. Anybody that's a client of mine believes in what I sell. Okay, now think about it. I sell luxury. Nobody needs what I sell. Like Apple, who got an iPhone? iPhones.
Used to, it got stolen.
Okay, so iPhones and stuff. Apple is the #1 company in the world at making crap we don't need. You want it, but you don't need it. Right? Does that make sense? Is that fair to say? And they're one of the wealthiest companies in the world. $1 trillion company. Okay? So my shop, everything that I sell, nobody needs it. Everybody wants it. So we have built a lifestyle off of it. So what's your name, man? I'm sorry. Jared. Okay. I want you to think of this, right? The idea when we create this company, when you create this business, you got to get so much fire behind it that you're the hottest steakhouse in town. Right? You're the hottest nightclub in town. You know? Like it's got to be hard to get to you, but it's so good that people will wait. So my shop, okay, we got a remote start. Anybody got a remote start? Remote start? Okay, there's X amount of shops that can do remote starts in the town. But my shop will be booked out 2 or 3 months for people to get a remote start. They'll miss almost the whole winter to wait for my shop. So why do people do that? Because they know this guy's been doing it 20 years. I can talk to John. He's going to be, it's always stands behind the product, stands behind the service, blah, 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 you know? We're the hottest steakhouse in town. Jerry, you the hottest steakhouse?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Sean, you the hottest steakhouse in town? You see? You have to create that vibe. You understand? If you're not the biggest customer, you're not the biggest hype man about it, how are you gonna sell it? You know what I'm saying? So the last thing I'm gonna finish, and this is it, and I'll shut up. Always, always, always be your own customer. Look at every single thing that happens from the beginning to the end. Walk in that door. If you have a back door, walk in the front door. And here's what I want you to do. Sean, this is what I want you to do. This is your exercise. I want you to stand at that door. Actually, don't lie. And I want you to get your phone. And I want you to take pictures. Jerry, you too. Take pictures. If you have a place of business, take pictures. Put it on the biggest screen you can put it on. Now you see what your customers see. And you're going to see stuff. You're like, man, why do we get that thing in the corner? Why do we get that stupid thing there? I do that at least once every 6 months to a year. And man, I'm like, oh, okay, we got to repaint this wall. We got to redo this. We got to redo that. Go use the bathroom, customer bathroom. You know, women. How important is a clean bathroom to you? Right. It's huge, right? Come to my shop. My shop bathrooms are immaculate all day long. Always. You know why? I'm thinking like my customer. You know, I love that he has coffee and water. I get the same thing. We got games playing, same thing. You know, what do we got to do to stimulate the customer? End result. How difficult are you to do business with? Are you easy? Okay. That's a huge part of it. You know. So always be your own customer. I think if you can remember that, then you'll find the secret to success. Because a lot of businesses that aren't successful are very hard to deal with, or there's some stupid process, or the shop looks like that, or this is dumb. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you, John.